How's it going, everyone? So, Jack Dorsey is in a bit of trouble. Is Jack Dorsey a scammer? Now, CashAPP was accused of rampant criminal behavior for drug deals, sex trafficking, prostitution, even murder for hire. It's not good. Is Jack Dorsey a scammer? Even though he portrays himself as sort of this hipster, Buddhist, monk kind of guy, the guy's likely like a government operative. I always thought he was sort of a secret spy of some sort. So recently, Hindenburg Research, they disclosed a short position on Block Incorporated, a company led by Jack Dorsey. So many of Hindenburg's claims actually center around CashAPP. Now all this has actually led to the demise of the bromance between Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk. And partially it's because Jack Dorsey, not only has he been cooking the numbers for CashAPP, Square, Block, but he also cooked the numbers for Twitter. And get this, the key metrics of active users included the bots. And that is a big problem that Elon Musk had. That's likely why he overpaid. Block also owned CashAPP, so they kind of fudged the numbers on some of the key metrics, and their practices were outside of compliance in order to lure customers in, try to fuel the growth. Elon's legal team, when he was buying Twitter, they actually subpoenaed Jack Dorsey, and he had to testify under oath regarding any kind of communications, any kind of paper trail regarding all the fake accounts, the bot accounts at Twitter. So this bromance was actually all basically to help Jack Dorsey sell the company to Elon. It's unfortunate they find themselves in this position, where Elon's original legal requests called for any document or communications Jack Dorsey himself might possess of false or spam accounts on Twitter's business and operations. So Elon's legal team basically was accusing Twitter of operating the scheme to mislead investors and intentionally miscounting the number of spam accounts on Twitter. So is Jack Dorsey now doing the same with CashAPP? With Block? Well, Hindenburg Research certainly thinks so. So they claim that their report that they released took 2 years of an investigation, an in-depth investigation into the company Block. And basically they argue that Jack Dorsey's company Block misled investors, law enforcement, and of course, customers. Hindenburg Research actually has a pretty decent track record of calling out some scammers. For example, Nikola founder Trevor Milton, who's actually found guilty and convicted just last year for deceiving investors and making exaggerated claims about his electric truck company. In 2020, when he took the company public, it was valued at $34 billion, which is pretty staggering. It's pretty amazing, where this company actually became more valuable than even Ford Motor Company. So essentially, Hindenburg Research found that this guy was a con man, called him out on it. So now they're basically doing the same thing to Jack Dorsey. Hindenburg actually cited a bunch of rappers who they say continue to boast about CashAPP and how basically they can get away with criminal activity and even defrauding the government. Big accusations. For example, rapper Nuke Bizzle, the guy was arrested and convicted for C-19 stimulus fraud, all using CashAPP. And crazy enough, this guy boasted about it in his lyrics. Now, actually for me personally, the very first time I ever heard of CashAPP was in graduate school. A future doctor. This guy was catfishing. Now, if you don't know what catfishing is, it's when someone pretends to be someone else online to basically defraud them. So what this guy would do is pretend to be a woman, and he would set up various accounts on Instagram and whatnot and post pictures of, bikinis and such. So guys would contact him for dates. And then he would say, well, I could only meet you if you CashAPP me a certain amount. Or, I don't have any money for a taxi. Please CashAPP me and then I'll see you in 20 minutes. This guy went on to become a doctor, catfisher. And that's how I learned about CashAPP. So Hindenburg actually said, and this one's a funny line, they said that Block has actually embraced one traditionally very underbanked segment of the population. Those are the criminals. Hindenburg, founded by Nathan Anderson, as pictured. I gotta say, those investigations that led to arrest, that's pretty impressive. Maybe his methods are a little unorthodox, but something to him. This guy's doing a better job than the DOJ or the SEC. Hindenburg went on to say that their investigators were able to create fake accounts. And these fake accounts, equal to like Twitter bots, are basically the way that Block and CashAPP fudge their user metrics.
How do we pay you?
Cryptocurrency, CashAPP.
They're saying that they boast over 80 million users, when in actuality, there's a lot of duplicate accounts. This number is, of course, according to Hindenburg, extremely inflated. So the Hindenburg investigators actually were able to create international public figure accounts, such as Elon Musk and Orange Man, where they even ordered a physical card with Orange Man's legal name on it. Very wild. And impersonate legitimate businesses. All makes sense. So the magic of Jack Dorsey's company is not disruptive technology. It's not amazing fintech. It's basically making fraud easier against consumers and even the government. So maybe this is why Jack Dorsey looks like he's constantly going in and out of a monastery, likely praying or meditating on all the sins that he's committed, on all the lies that he's told to get ahead. To investors, customers, and even the government, Block claimed that these type of attacks are pretty normal for Hindenburg. They were designed solely to allow short sellers to profit from decline in values for the companies. Of course, because Hindenburg Research is not like unbiased or anything, they make money. They profit from taking large short positions in the companies that issues reports on, betting big, by the way, that their shares are gonna plunge.
Happy.
So they profit from these reports as soon as the stock goes down. And that is a totally legit defense. But, is Jack Dorsey a scammer? Always a pleasure to spend time here with you guys. Well, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I love any and all feedback from you guys. Smash a like if you haven't. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.